Hey there everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com, and here it is, the Google Play edition of the brand new HTC One, the M8. So, give you a quick tour around here. It's essentially the same thing as you're going to get directly from HTC, only this one is from Google, and it's got Google software on it instead of HTC software. The box is exactly the same, or as close as you can get to it, as HTC's edition. So, just different, renders, and slightly, the specs are the same, they just changed them up in the box a little bit the way they look. So kind of interesting how much you can see the HTC logo a little more on the gunmetal gray than you can just on the silver version, but that's sort of an optical illusion. Don't read too much into that. I'm going to cause trouble, I know. So let's open up the box and see what we have here, shall we? There's the phone. Pretend it's in that cool wrapper that HTC generally does. I've already turned it on. Interesting, I'm not sure if it was initially going to launch with HTC Advantage. This is the one that will fix your display if you break it in the first 6 months. Also, you get 50 gigabytes of free online storage from Google Drive. So I'm double checking on that to make sure that's still on the up and up. But the big sticker is here, same as on HTC's box as well. Inside, you've got your SIM tray tool, and you have HTC charger. That should be the 1.5 amp charger, not the quick charge 2.0 yet. We're still waiting on that. Micro USB cable and some white earbuds. These are HTC branded, if you can see through there. So cool. Okay, so onto the device itself. This is an HTC One M8, much like this is the HTC One M8, right? Still has 2 cameras on the back. You can see the difference in finishes here. This is the gunmetal gray. This is actually the unlocked HTC version. And this is, I believe it's called glacial silver, which is real close, if not exactly like the finish on the M7 on last year's HTC One. So, otherwise, exact same physically phone, right? Still has 2 really big speakers on it. So let's fire it up here. There is Google's lock screen. We're used to that. And here's the home screen. Now this is technically called the Google Now Launcher, right? You probably remember this called the Google Experience Launcher for a little while before it was official. But here it is. So you can swipe over and get Google Now on the left. That's after you are actually signed into Google Now, by the way. So you might have to drag up and do that initially to get signed in. But there it is. I can say, okay, Google, and it will start searching for me, and I can talk to it and tell it things, and it's still really fast and really cool. And let's see how long I can keep going before it starts to freak out and says, Phil, stop. Oh, there, it did it. So, okay. So that's that. Now, a couple of the big questions we have about this phone is, look, it's got these 2 cameras, right? But can you use it? And the answer is yes. So here's the camera app. This is the stock Google camera app, and we'll just take a picture of that so you can see how it works. Pretty normal stuff. Remember, there is no gallery anymore in Google Play editions, right? So we're working in the Photos app. You still have the option to share, and you still have all these options here within the Google Photos app, including edit, which is kind of important, because this is how you get to all those cool effects. HTC Photo Edit is what you want to select to actually take advantage of that second camera and use all those cool features from HTC. So here we have the effects panel, and this is where you can get to U-Focus, and that's the one that lets you not refocus the picture, but it lets you defocus the background or put emphasis on the foreground, right? It's almost like using Photoshop, basically. It's not actually changing the focus of the picture. So that's how that works. You also have Dimension Plus. This gives it the cool 3D effect. See, like that. And you also have the option, I'm tilting the phone here. You also have the option to touch the screen and tilt it that way if you want, just like on the proper M8. Touch up for when you have faces. It will change eye brightening and red eye and all that stuff. You have a bunch of filters to play with here in the app. And remember, we have all this in Google's app as well. So some of this is duplicated, but HTC's are also very nice and worth a look if you haven't seen them already. So all sorts of cool little themes and filters. You have frames, so you can put frames on your pictures as well. Whole bunch of options here, also very nice. And finally, we have tools. So another set of tools to rotate and crop. The flip one is actually pretty cool. I just discovered this for the first time. That's neat. I like that effect. So yes, you can use the Duo camera. It's all there, and it all still works pretty well, actually. So let's go back to the phone now, shall we? You will find the HTC Weather Service in here, and you'll see it when you first set up your accounts. You'll see there it is, HTC Weather Service, and there's a reason for that, and that is because the .view case works just fine. That was another big question we had, right? Will the .view case work? If you haven't seen our video on this, absolutely go watch it. It is a great, cool little case. So if you hit the power button, You see it's going to shine through and tell me the time and the weather. So that's probably why it's tied into HTC Weather. That's all I've gotten it to show, right? I've tied it into the stock email app, and that does not show anything through here. And nor can you call the phone and get the cool swipe up and swipe down to answer the phone. So that's unfortunate, but again, we're dealing with Google Play Edition here and not the HTC Edition, so it's not a huge surprise. You can, however, use the motion launch. So you can double tap to wake the phone up. That works with the .view case, and it also works just when it's sleeping. And you can also swipe to unlock the phone. You can't get the different functions going left, right, up, down. All it does is wake it up and unlock it. That's interesting. So .view case is there, and the weather is there for the .view case. So I was just kind of playing around in Google Play Store here to see what other apps from HTC we could possibly install. .view case, that's that HTC Service Pack, does nothing right now. I don't know if it ever will. And HTC Sense TV, that does work, that does install. So we'll have to play around with that. So there you go, guys, a very quick walkthrough. All right, we'll show you the rest of the settings as long as we're here. All right, it's Android 4.4.2, nothing we haven't seen. There's your motion launch gestures, and you can see it's actually missing a lot of the options that you would have in the HTC version. You can turn them off and on if you want. Storage-wise, this is 32 gigabytes, so we've got about 26 available. And that's kind of about it. Nothing too surprising here. 4.4.2, HTC One M8. So there you go, a quick look. .view case, still love that. That's it. See you later.